Good morning, RVers. My name is Jason Harrington here at Veurink's RV Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. What I have for you guys today is Renegade RV's all-new Veracruz. This is the 2021 edition. It's the 35FWS. So this is the full wall slide model. I'm just gonna go over a short video with you because when you're out there shopping for a Super C, it can get very confusing on which one you like, which one has the best quality, which one's gonna work best for you and your family. I wanna touch on all those, and I wanna show you why the Renegade way is certainly the right way for you guys. So, what I love the best about these things is that we're on the F550 chassis. So this is built by Ford. It's a 6.7 liter turbo diesel with their Power Stroke motor in it. But what's nice is it's the same cab as a pickup truck. So your guys out there in your F250s, this is the same exact cab that you're riding in. So the transition going from your actual vehicle into something like this is really easy. You're not in a giant Class A, you're not in those Class C's where you're real low to the ground. This is the same thing as an actual truck. And what's nice is not everyone is comfortable with those giant semi trucks but they still want to pull those large capacities, where this thing, it's like I said, it's a truck frame, but you're still pulling 12,000 pounds and it still gives you 35 foot of motorhome. So it's a nice transition from one to the other. It makes it really easy. This one right here, however, is equipped with the 4-wheel drive package. I know here in Michigan we definitely need it, but if you're going out to the races or if you're going to a horse show, something like that where you're gonna be out in a field and you need that 4-wheel drive, it is nice. It's 2-wheel drive until you switch it into 4-wheel because you have the locking hubs up front. Now you'll notice the beautiful paint scheme on this one. So this is a black and silver color scheme. What Renegade does is everything is custom painted with a Mercedes Sikkens paint. We cut and buff between every layer, so it is a smooth transition between colors. It doesn't feel rough on the outside. We do a triple coat of clear coat up front and a double coat on the sides to protect from those stone chips and rock chips and debris flying at your coach while you're cruising down the highway. Now you can notice I'm standing underneath a lateral arm awning. This is a power awning. You press a button, it comes out. It does have the wind sensor on there, so it rolls itself right back in. But having those lateral arms just takes away the stuff on the side of the coach that always gets in the way, and you always hit your head on it too. But what's cool is these baggage doors. Now the competition out there is gonna have side swing baggage doors as well, but they're gonna use the old school, not really old school, but the traditional style with like what your fifth wheels and travel trailers do, where you have the seam around it, maybe a piano hinge all the way down, but they're real thin. If you take our competitor's door and push on it like this, you're gonna get a huge sag to it. Well, I can put a bunch of weight on there and it's not doing anything because we use 2 steel hinges right here with 2 steel latches on this side, and then a full solid door. Inside our bays right here, you're gonna see we use an 8D battery. So we're not putting one 12-volt battery in there like some of those guys. This is an 8D battery. Look at the size of that thing. Now over here, you're gonna have our inverter. So this is what's gonna control some of your plugs in your refrigerator, microwave, and TV. If you don't want to run your generator, this will allow those 110 outlets to run off of 12 volt. It's really, really nice. And then you have an additional storage in there. All these doors open up for this additional storage. They use a composite material in there. It is a mold and mildew proof. So if you're throwing something wet in there, don't worry about it. It's not going to get moldy and get mildewy and be nasty after a couple years. TV's on the outside with the stereo system, a couple USB ports right there for charging your phones. That's really nice, and then this door just shuts right down, so when you're traveling, you don't even know it's there. Back here is where we put your generator. This is gonna be an 8,000 watt Cummins Onan diesel generator. This will run right off of your fuel tank from your coach. Now, speaking of fuel tanks, this thing has 100 gallons of fuel. You have 2 tanks. You have a 60-gallon tank and a 40-gallon tank that run simultaneously. You have gauges for both so you can see what levels you're at. Right here on the door side, passenger side, you do have a propane fill and quick connect. So if you want to bring your grill with you while you're tailgating, if you're at the races and you want to cook something up, you can plug your grill right into that and it will run off of your propane tank that's built in underneath the coach. Now check this out. The back cap is a molded fiberglass cap that wraps completely around it, but what you'll notice is we do a two-piece. So you have this piece here and this piece down here. The reason we do a two-piece and not just your standard flat sheet of fiberglass like you're gonna find on some of these is eventually you're probably gonna bang into something, backing up to your trailer or whatever, and you're gonna smash this corner. Well, we're trying to save you some money in the long run. Instead of replacing the whole thing, you just have to replace this bottom piece here. It just makes it a lot nicer and cheaper for you down the road. Again, like we were talking about, your hitch back here, 12,000 pound capacity on that thing, and that's when your coach is fully loaded. Now please name another guy in the industry that's putting a 12,000 pound hitch on this segment of RV. It's not gonna happen. Now on this floor plan, like we talked about, is the full wall slide. So check that thing out. From tip to tip, a slide room. That is massive. Now back here, we got a couple more drawers and cabinets we'll show you. This is gonna be your dump area and your tanks. You'll notice that we wrap the tanks right there. There are electronic heating pads on your tanks. So inside you have a multiplex system that you can click a button and it will turn those tank heaters on. Right here is your wet bay. And you'll notice how everything is etched into that piece of steel. So Renegade in-house has a water jet that will actually water jet all of those labels where it says cable, black tank flush, black, gray, because a lot of guys are just putting a sticker on there. Well, 5 years down the road, you get water spraying in there on occasion, those stickers fall off and now you don't know which one does what. This will never ever go away. And then we continue on with some more storage. You'll notice in there, we optioned this one with a power cord reel. This is a 50 amp coach because we have 2 ACs, 2 furnaces, but with 50 amps, those cords, when it gets cold out, they're heavy, man, and they do not bend or twist, so they're tough to roll up. But with the cord reel, just press a button, the thing rolls itself up. It's so nice. And then a little bit more storage here. So you have a never-ending supply of exterior storage, which is super nice. But the best part is the inside. Let's go check that out. Now standing inside of the all-new Veracruz, the 35FWS, you'll notice how spacious this thing is. So like we talked about on the outside, you have a full wall slide. So all the way forward as you can get and all the way as back as you can get, this thing is slid out. So it just makes this place gigantic. Notice up here up front, we do have the cab over bunk. It's awesome because it slides all the way back. So this way when you're getting into the cockpit, you don't have that bunk right above your head that you're gonna bang your head on, especially when you're traveling. You got a quick run to the bathroom, jump out of here and back there, it's not gonna hit your head. So this thing just actually just slides straight back and then the bunks lay on top of it and you got a really nice sized bed you could sleep 2 adults on very easily. On this side is gonna be your controls. You got your wine guard there, your DVD player and all that stuff right here. Actually, excuse me, Blu-ray player. All your cabinets, you'll notice, is all real wood. And that's where we're gonna stop on a lot of brands. We're gonna be just real wood cabinet doors. And what they do is they try to save some weight. So all your cabinet styles, shelves, everything is gonna be an MDF board. So what they're doing is they're literally taking glued sawdust, putting a wallpaper on it that looks like wood grain and calling that your cabinet. Well, it's cheaper and it weighs less. Not Renegade. Real wood, real wood. Every single piece in here is real wood. There is no wrapped MDF. So you don't have to worry about a year, 2 years down the road and your cabinets are already peeling and stuff like that. This is gonna stay real wood the whole time. So quality, they do not spare any expense. Dinette directly across from your sofa. This does turn into a bed. It is a legless table too, so it's a lot easier for bigger people to be able to get in there. Taller guys, I know their knees are always hitting those bars in there, so this thing with no legs on it, it makes it really easy. Sofa right here, this is a bed. It will turn into a bed as well, but it's directly across from your TV. So shooting right across from the sofa is the TV with a sound bar. It is on a swing arm, so that'll actually come out and you can get a better angle if you're sitting at the dinette or what have you. Now down here in the stepwell, what's cool is right when you walk in the door, you have your main switches. So this has the equalizer system for an automatic 4-point hydraulic leveling. You have your step override, your battery disconnect, a couple light switches and awning, and then right above that is your multiplex system. So right here controls your whole coach. There is an app for this where you can do the whole thing from your phone, which is super cool. The only problem is it is 99 cents, but I will maybe help you out and pay for that for you. It's okay. But we'll get everything controlled on there, and I can go over this in depth. If you have any questions, just reach out to me personally. We'll have my number at the bottom of this thing, and I can go over everything you need to know about this multiplex system. So, as we work our way back, kitchen, galley, full appliance suite, all residential. You get the 31-inch microwave. Does have convection capabilities because you do not have an oven, because we option in the induction cooktop. Now make sure you get the right pots and pans for this thing. You should know that with induction. LG solid surface countertop. So this is a solid rock, fully polishable if you ever do scratch it, and it is non-porous, so perfect for cooking on. And then you get a sink cover right here to give you a little bit more prep space. Again, real wood. All your drawers and doors, they are soft close as well, so they're not going to slam shut on you. 12 cubic foot Insignia residential refrigerator. Like we talked about outside, it is hooked to the inverter, so you do not have to have your generator running or plugged in to have this guy going. So if it's a nice day like it is today and you don't want the AC going, you don't want the gen running, this thing will work. Directly across from there is your bathroom. Now look how massive this thing is. So porcelain toilet, solid surface countertops continue into there. Tons of storage. Your medicine cabinet does open up for additional storage behind there as well. And then your shower. That thing is awesome. It's a one-piece seamless fiberglass shower surround, so you have no risk of water leaking in between seams when it's being one piece. And then a nice residential style glass door. Now, just make sure you lock that door before you leave, because it's real glass. If it's not locked and you hit the brakes and that thing comes slamming shut, you're gonna have a mess. But that's what you get with real glass. Now back here in the bedroom, what we can do on this floor plan is give you the king size bed. And what's really nice about these beds is they don't have to flip up when you run the slide in. So a lot of these guys that are building these things end up poor engineering, and the bed has to flip on top of itself when the slide comes in. Well, when you're traveling and your spouse gets tired and wants to come back here and take a nap, you can't because the bed's flipped up. So this is a king size bed, custom built, memory foam mattress that does not have to fold up. You have nightstands on both sides, you have plugs, you have USB ports on both sides, so perfect spot to put your sleep app machine, alarm clock, cell phone. You got cabinets right above. There is a control right above right here too, so you can control your lights. These are dimmable lights. You can control your generator, all that right from bed, not have to get up, but you do have the app on your phone. Right across from the bed is your wardrobe. This thing is massive. You can fit easily a week's worth of clothes in there. Well, if you're my wife, maybe one day's worth of clothes. But down below that is a couple drawers that we get to put a couple pieces of clothes in, and that's all we're given. But what's really cool is you have this extra countertop space here. So again, continuing on with the LG countertops right here, put some stuff there, but at night, if you wanna watch TV, just press a button, TV pops up. It's really easy. If you wanna use it, it's there. If not, it's not taking up any space. It's down inside this cabinet. So super cool. All right, so now let's take this thing for a little drive, kind of go over a couple features with it. So like we talked about outside, this is the XLT Ford package. So it is the same setup as your regular pickup truck, which is super nice. The new Ford Smart Wheel, everything looks just like you would have in your regular truck. So your Smart Wheel right here controls your volume, your cruise. You have a digital screen up front. You can go between screens on what you need to do up there. What's super cool, like we talked about with the 12,000 pound tow capacity is a brake controller built right in. So super nice. It's already got the 7-way plug back there, brake controller right here. You need that thing, it's right there. 4-wheel drive control, like we talked about, it is 2-wheel drive until you engage into the 4-wheel drive. So you have 4 high, 4 low. Obviously, we're just going to keep it in 2-wheel drive today. And then you have your full touchscreen up here. So it does have everything built in. You have navigation. It also is controlled with Apple CarPlay. So your whole touchscreen controls everything. You got your heat, media controls, everything right down here. A couple USB ports and a 12 volts outlet right there. And then you have another 12 volt and 110. All right, so this is an automatic, and it just is so nice to be able to jump in this thing and cruise down the road, because not everyone's a truck driver. Not everyone can jump into a Freightliner chassis or an international chassis that's a semi-truck and just cruise down the road. But if you can drive a car, you can drive this thing. So it's super easy. You don't feel any pressure. You don't feel like you need to really pay attention too much because you have this massive coach and air suspension and all that stuff. The crazy part about this, the first time I was ever driving this thing, I forgot that I had a 35-foot motorhome behind me because it drives just like my regular truck. And I was like, oh shoot, I need to watch what I'm doing because I ran over a curb. Well, that'll happen sometimes, but definitely you want to pay attention to what you're doing. But it's so nice because there's just no pressure. You don't feel like you don't know what you're doing and you're this massive vehicle. You feel like you're blending in right with traffic. It's absolutely fantastic. The thing drives so smooth, and I'm driving this thing right now with no weight in it. So once you put some water in here, and you got 96 gallons of water, you put all your stuff in here, you pull a trailer behind you, this thing drives even more smooth down the road. It's really, really quiet. Generator is completely in the back, so you don't even hear it from up front here, but it's absolutely great. So if you guys have any questions, I know I couldn't touch on everything, but I would love to go over the differences between this and the competition, because trying to find the most perfect one for you can be kind of tiresome, and it gets confusing after a while. It gets confusing for us, and we're experts in this stuff. So give me a call. I'd love to go over the differences with you and show you why the Renegade way is the right way. And we can make this thing yours. I can ship it all over the country. We can bring it right to your doorstep. We can finance it for you. And we love trade-ins. If you have any trades, let us know about that, and we can take those in as well.